Welcome back to the lunch table, food for thought. I'm Nico. Blitz. Hit that subscribe button just right down there because it really helps us out. And make sure you hit us up on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and you can also find my voice on the iHeartRadio app and Track Life Radio. My next guest, shout out to Myles, Parrish, and Cam, man. She goes by the name of Jacy.
Yes, those two legends right there. I'm Jacy, by the way. Hello.
What's going on, Jacy? I'm really digging your style.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm feeling the neons lately. I just feel the need to be bright. If that makes any sense. It's just like, the weather's kind of fucked up recently. It's global warming. And I'm like, you know what? We'll make up for the weather with these bright colors.
Yeah, dude. And I appreciate you coming in with bright colors because sometimes people come in with, like, super dark. And you can see the vinyls are hella dark, so they kind of blend in. I'm just like, ugh.
Don't wear your pajamas. Like, hello?
No, exactly. But do you really believe in global warming?
Kinda, yeah. Do you?
I do.
Okay, thank God.
Because did you see the Bill Nye video that's been like surfacing for the past couple of days?
Yeah, fuck you little children.
Yeah, dude.
I remember you in 5th grade, but you didn't have to come at me like this. I'm sorry if I littered like my gum and
yeah. Well, I mean, even look at today, right? Like today, it started off raining. I think I woke up maybe at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, why is it raining right now? And then lo and behold, we're filming this at like fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's sunny as fuck. It's hot.
Yeah.
I'm not even wearing the same thing that I was wearing a couple hours ago.
Like, should I bring my big ass coat and come in and be like, because I'm gonna be cold or something?
Yeah.
Nope, the sun's out. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sweat later on today if I go walk around. Like, it's fine. We're fine. We're chilling.
So then what? How was it in like Sacramento? Because I remember you being born in like Sacramento and raised there. Like every time I had went there, it was just extremely dry. Really dry weather.
That goes for a lot of things about Sacramento. That's a really good word to sum up Sacramento, that whole area. Dry. Perfect.
Dry as fuck.
Dry as fuck. Just people's personalities, the weather, like, things to do. Just dry.
Yeah.
Dry.
Well, I remember as a kid, my parents owned this house in Sacramento, and we would kind of just use it to like have people like rent out and whatnot. Okay. And so when we first went over to Sacramento, I was over here thinking like, oh, this is the capital of California. This is gonna be a dope city. The only thing I really remember about it was the Arco Arena, which is where the Sacramento Kings
in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere, and I'm just like, it just looks like dead ass farmland everywhere, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you go into downtown, and it's just as, honestly, it's really boring. Yeah. Like, downtown's boring. And then go past downtown, then you got all these suburbs, and each suburb is, just the same, just a bunch of basic people, and it's not a nice environment. It really isn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm surprised you were able to last in Sacramento for such a while now.
I am, too. I got to a certain point, though, like, I think last year in June, I started having like breakdowns. I'm like, Mom, I cannot be here. I need to like officially like move to LA and just be a resident there. Like, I know I'm gonna miss you and whatnot, but I can't be here anymore. Like the people and the vibe and the vibes.
The vibes of LA.
Vibes of LA. It's just so much better. Like, I'm just me down here. Like, I can wear this and like people be like, yo, that's a dope outfit. But if I wear this in like Sacramento, they're like looking at me like, oh my God, is she a prostitute? Like, she's wearing a
She's crazy.
She's got her stomach showing. I'm like, y'all don't know what's fashion.
Well, Sacramento's such an old city. I feel like a lot of old people, like even Old Town Sacramento, I'm looking over here like, I feel like this is where Old Town Road was made. Like, there's there's horses, Western. There's some wagons. Like, it looks extremely Western, like where the Niners used to, like, go gold mine and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that maybe that is what went down.
I don't know. You would know better than I do.
I don't know. I didn't want to, like, look up my history of where. I don't even give a fuck. Like, whatever. It's boring. I'm like, okay, bye. Like, let's go. Let's go. I remember there's, like, a train museum down there as well.
A train museum
down there. And a railroad museum.
See, I know some people may be fascinated by those type of things, but that's not necessarily something that would entice me to want to go to Sacramento.
No, I have no interest in that. There's like, I mean, it's nice to like grow your family in just, a nice safe little bubble to grow a boring, basic family. Oh my God, that's so rude, but I don't care. I don't care. But because, you know, you got the beach, like, 2 hours away. You got Lake Tahoe, like, an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
You're, like, in the middle. But, like, you can only go to the beach so often. You'd only go probably, like, once a year. And then same with, like, the snow. Like, you would probably only go once a year. Like, it's boring. There's just nothing to do.
Well, I feel like Sacramento also tends to, in regards to music, Sacramento likes to adopt Bay Area style.
Yes. I like to claim I'm from the Bay. So I do it quite a bit.
See, so that's what I kind of get frustrated about. Like when people from Sacramento claim the Bay, I'm like, yes, it's NorCal, but it's not the Bay.
It's not the Bay. It's a good 2 hours away. But I'm like, yeah, like Bay Area, like, because.
To be quite frank, if you like put yourself in the Bay Area and you said you were from the Bay Area, like I think you would blend in pretty well.
Yeah, no, because when I got my license, because I was what's it called? Independent study. I did an independent study for high school. And basically, that meant I could get all my schoolwork done and just have, like, the whole day for myself and do whatever the fuck I want. I got my license, and I was like, I'm going to go down to the Bay Area and just drive myself down there and do whatever the fuck I want. So I was down in the Bay a lot because I got my license.
What year was this?
2016.
Super recent. How old are you again?
I'm 18 now.
Oh.
I'll be 19.
Congrats.
In June.
You are currently in adulthood now.
Yes.
How I wish to be 18 again.
I know everyone says that. I'm like, I mean, yeah, I guess I like being 18, but I'd rather be 21 here. Well, actually, no. I can get into places not being 21. Just kidding.
I mean, there's some places, though, I feel like as an artist, you are able to get in, but only for your set time. You can't be there. I mean, you can get there early, but you got to stay in, like, your dressing room. And then you can't necessarily go out to, like, the bar area because you have no purpose. And it's illegal for you to be out there.
I mean, like, yeah, I can finesse, like, getting into clubs, though. Like, I know how to finesse my way into that little situation. But, yeah, I guess you're right about that part.
I want to say I have like an 18 or 19-year-old cousin, and she was over here talking to me about, Kuya. Kuya means like older brother, older male cousin in like my native tongue, Tagalog. And she was like, yeah, Kuya, like I went to this 21 and up club, da-da-da. I'm just like, how old are you again? How old are you again? She's like 19. I'm like, let me see your ID. I'm just like, oh, hell nah.
She got a fake?
This shit's passing, bro. That shit's crazy.
I've used a friend's passport and she's from Sweden. She looks nothing like me. She has blonde hair. I used it, and they're like, yeah.
Allegedly, you used it.
Yeah, he probably didn't even look at it. I did try and use it, but he just let me in, so, like, whatever. Like,
you know, sometimes you kind of just got to maneuver your way through situations as smoothly as possible, not act like it's the first time.
Oh, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm super confident. I'm like,
so
I'm ready.
What would you do the second you got your license and you would drive down to the Bay Area? What would you do?
I found tea time. I had this like boy I was interested in. And he lived in Berkeley. So I would go down there and we'd hang out, and he was like a musician or whatnot, and we would just hang out and whatnot and do all that fun stuff.
And whatnot.
No. We would literally like.
Whatnot encapsulates a whole bunch of things.
Okay, we'll just keep it at whatnot. I don't want to even go any deeper because if he's watching this, this is really awkward. Like, I don't want to like talk shit or anything. Yeah. Like,
so you would go down to the Bay.
Yeah, hang out with him, or I'd go with my friends who also did independent study, and we go to San Francisco and go shopping all day.
Yeah.
Or shopping, not like stealing, but like window shopping.
Window shopping.
Yeah, just.
Don't worry, man. Damn, that's kind of crazy how I'm about to say when I was your age.
When I was your age.
I feel like a fucking grandpa right now. But like, yeah, like when I was about 18, 19, and I still do this to this day, not as frequently, but like I would just window shop the fuck out of everything, and I would just look at things like, oh, this is something I could definitely get, and I would kind of just like save my money or like finesse a couple dollars here and there, just be like, yeah, now I got it. I got it. Now I'm curious, right? Because when I was about 18, I was so quick to just keep on purchasing things without even knowing like what the idea of saving was.
Yeah, I don't know what saving is still.
Okay.
So I'm not at that point. I'm not at the point.
You're still at that point where you're just spending money frivolously.
Literally. Oh yeah, my dad's like, what the hell? What the fuck are you doing? Like, I could read you like the text I got from him last night.
Go, what'd you get? I love that you're an open book.
Okay. Acknowledge me, damn it. If you don't acknowledge me, this is it. Get a part-time job. I'm tired of you sounding like a broken record. You don't even acknowledge me. And I was like asleep at this time. I went to sleep for some reason really early. He's like, we asked you, that didn't make sense, Dad. That's not even sense. Let me try and rephrase it because he was probably just typing out of like adrenaline. There's
like hella typos.
Like, yeah, I'm like, this is not a sentence. We give you everything you ever want, and you have a budget of $200 a week, and you blow it on fast food and frivolous stupid stuff. I'm like, yep, because, you know, I'm 18. I'm sorry. Like,
low key, honestly,
I feel bad now. Like, I feel bad like about it, but like in the moment, I'm like, oh, it's okay. Like, I can go out with my friends and like go eat and get coffee again. But I probably should stop going out and eating and just continue to buy groceries and just eat at home.
To be honest, like me being 26 years old now and understanding the value of saving, it would really behoove you to just like learn how to cook and whatnot, because
I do know how to cook.
Oh, okay,
I'm a
cool.
Great like baker, cooker. I'm great with like the kitchen, but I'm just like, if I'm bored or I have like friends that just want to go out and eat and whatever because it's a social thing, then we go out and like get something to eat.
I feel you.
Like it's like, you know, there's always like, oh, let's go to dinner like with all the crew and let's go out.
And it's not necessarily about the food at that point. It's kind of like, let's just get together because we don't necessarily get to do this too often.
Yeah, or like there's nothing else to do right now or something, like, you know, you go out and eat.
Do you find... So, wait, so since you're 18, that must mean are you Gen Z? Or are you still considered a millennial? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
I was born in 2000, so.
Oh my God.
I don't know what that is.
Fucking nuts to me, dude.
I like to say I'm a 90s kid because technically
I mean, your style is very retro.
Yeah. And I grew up with like all the 90s cartoons because it was 2000.
Okay, okay. What 90s cartoons were you watching?
Rugrats.
Okay.
Hey Arnold.
Okay.
Cat and Dog.
Cat Dog, not
Cat
Dog.
Cat
Get
Dog.
That shit fucking straight.
I'm sorry, it's been like 10 years since I watched that. Jesus Christ. Let's see, like Dora the Explorer, that was 90s.
All
right?
right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Did you see the Dora the Explorer live action that's gonna come out? It's crazy. It looks fucking cool.
Oh my God.
I'm actually enticed to watch it. But I'm surprised that you know like all of those cartoons, because I think my cousins are maybe like 15, 16 years old and they don't even know that stuff even exists.
Really? It's on like Nick at Night. Like you could go watch it at Nick at Night.
Look, I don't know. I don't know what they be up to. All I know is they don't listen to that shit.
No, I don't think anyone watches like cable TV anymore. Like it's Netflix and Hulu and all that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I could relate. Like, oh yeah, there's like many other things to watch other than cable TV. No one likes cable TV anymore. But I don't know. Like, I'd like to watch SpongeBob every once in a while. Like, if it's like 10 and I'm like,
I want to know this perspective from you, right? Seeing as how you were dead ass born where technology was essentially just starting off, right? Like social media wasn't necessarily a thing. I think MySpace was still definitely a thing by the year 2000, and you know, we've seen it evolve into Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. What's it like for you growing up in the age where technology is extremely prominent?
There's pros and cons to it, obviously. I feel like I should be more positive about social media being so prominent, because without social media, I have a better platform to like brand myself and promote myself without any like help behind me. Like I can do that. But also there's so many other singers and artists and blah 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 competitors out there with me because of social media, because it's so easy to like do that. And YouTube.
I mean, there's Lil this and Lil that and Young this, Young that.
Yes, exactly. Like just thousands of them, thousands and thousands. And I don't know. I guess it's hard in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
But
like everything's kind of oversaturated.
Yes. And I mean, I don't even.
But to be honest, I I feel like I hate sounding like such an old ass guy, but I feel like your generation knows how to manipulate the internet a lot better than, like my age group does, for instance. Because, like, I'll tell you, people around, like, their mid-20s, we're trying to figure out how the 17-year-olds and the 18-year-olds are getting, like, millions and zillions of followers. And, it's fucking crazy.
How do they, like, they're doing, like, musically, like, that kind of stuff?
See, my theory is that because there's so many more people around your age range, and because all of you grew up within this technological age, more of you are on it. Mm-hmm. And it's the familiarity of, like, seeing somebody who is, like, 17 or 18, which I feel like attracts people around your age to be like, oh, fuck, well, yeah, this guy's cool, that guy's cool, because he's kind of like me in terms of, like, that's my age range. That's my demographic.
Age, yeah. Yeah, it's like oh my God, like, look at this person. He's my age, and he's doing all these big things, and he's got all these followers, and he's wearing all this, like, cool stuff and being a hype beast and all that. I'm going to follow you. And then probably, like, the guy or the girl who's got all these followers is now, like, a businessman, businesswoman, technically. Mm-hmm. Because social media is not, it's business, basically, when you have all those followers, like, you can do all those brand deals, and I'm trying to speak like a fucking, I don't even know. I don't even know how to put it together.
To be honest, you get that many followers, you could do one post and charge $5,000 just for one post if a brand is willing to just throw money behind it.
It's crazy. Like, I don't even, like, you see these kids and they've got all this money, and I'm like, how are you buying this? Like, your mom can't be buying you this kind of stuff. Obviously, you're buying it for yourself. How the hell? Like, I'm like, huh? How? Yeah. I'm trying to be on that level. Like, I'm trying to like get my music out there, and you can just post like a selfie that you edited like for 2 hours and put it on Instagram, got all these comments and likes, and I'm trying to like put my music out there.
Trying to make a career out of this, man. I'm trying to use social media, man.
And you're just, you have it so easy. I don't know. So in a way, I think it's really unfair. I guess I don't like it. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say I don't like it, like that I hate it, but
it sounds like you have a love-hate relationship for it, as many of us really do.
Yeah. Yeah, but right now I guess I'm not like super into it. Mm-hmm. I'm just kind of mad at it because,
Well, were you, like, in the beginning, were you using social media to kind of flex your music?
Yeah. I mean, I had to use YouTube and SoundCloud and Spotify and Apple Music, like, to release it. And then I'd use Instagram and Twitter to promote it and say, oh, it's out. Facebook, same thing. Like, have my mom do it. Like, social media, like, was the way.
And your mom was on board with it, too.
My mom is still on board with it. She's got an Instagram, and she's got everyone following her, and she's like on every day, like, hey, guys, I'm going to do a giveaway. And I'm like, yeah, Mom. Okay. Yeah, so go, Mom,
So it sounds like your parents are on board with you doing music, too.
Oh, always have been. They've known since I was little that I was going to pursue it.
Did they, like, put a guitar or, like, a piano in front of you when you were young?
No, they never, like, tried to make me be a little musical prodigy. I just kind of would do it for fun. Like, I'd go in my room by myself. Like, I never wanted them to hear anything. Like, I'd try and hide it. And if they'd come in the room and be like, I want to hear, and I'd be like, shut up, go away, I'm not doing anything. I'd, like, sing to Hannah Montana really loud, and they'd come up and hear it. I'd be like, no.
Party in the USA. Oh, no, that's Miley Cyrus.
That was, like,
My
later
bad.
on.
Yeah.
This is, like, Nobody's Perfect, that kind of thing. Or, like, Taylor Swift, old Taylor Swift.
22.
Or, like, 22. Not even that era yet. Not even, like, Teardrops on My Guitar era, like, 2007.
Okay.
I'd say when I was 7, I started, like, being that little singing girl. And I'd go to school, and at recess, I'd sing for people. At the talent shows in elementary school, I'd do all the talent shows. And I always just knew that I loved performing and, like, entertaining. And singing was just, like, a way to entertain. And then I got into acting, like, at 10, 11, 12. And I did a play. I was the lead role in my school play. And I was like, I just really love performing in front of people. I just like being like the center of attention, if that makes sense, because like I was an only child and I didn't have too many friends, so I was never the one to have well, being an only child, they'd have a lot of attention on me, obviously, but like I was always like kind of like the little loner in school and whatnot. I didn't have like friends that were popular.
You know, I'm surprised because you seem like you have such a outgoing personality.
Yeah, I always have, but people maybe got scared of it, that I was confident with myself and like didn't give a fuck what other people thought, and they were afraid of that, and they just wanted to judge me instead of like be like, oh, you're dope, like let's hang out or let's go play Barbies or some shit like that. And I don't know, I never got it.
I mean, I guess being in a city like Sacramento where everything is extremely just linear.
Yeah.
Everybody could. Based off like this conversation alone, I feel like everyone just kind of wants to go through the motions of what Sacramento has to offer, and you being one of the few people who actually stand out, it's kind of alarming for people. Like Saweetie's from Sacramento, right? And you look at her, she's just like extremely like
she's bougie,
glamorous, gorgeous, and everything. And when she said she's from Sacramento, I'm just like, how does that make sense? But not to compare you both, but like seeing as how your personality is the way that it is, like it kind of makes sense how it's kind of like that one oddball in the class who's kind of just like on their own thing and nobody can really understand it because they're just so used to like the daily life of what it's like to live in Sacramento.
Yeah, wearing the same stuff, having a plan to go to college and go to community college, then a state college or whatever. Like I don't even know school talk anymore at this point. I was like, I X'd that out by the time I was in 8th grade. I was like, I'm not going to college, honey. No.
Damn, really?
Yeah, I was on X Factor when I was in 7th grade, so that's when I knew.
Whoa. Okay, wait.
That's when I knew that I was supposed to be like,
I was doing some talent shows over here, and I was on this thing called X Factor.
Another talent show.
Wait. So what'd you end up doing on X Factor?
Oh god. Okay. So I went to this singing studio in Roseville, which is, do you know Roseville?
I don't know where
it's
Roseville
like a suburb in Sac.
Okay.
So, and my vocal coach had me like last minute put together like a girl band of just like 13 to 14-year-olds, like 5 of us, sent in a video to this casting producer that he was friends with and was like, yo, we need a girl band like last minute to come down for the live taping, which usually isn't the case for like how things go with TV and reality shows. They usually have all of these different background things that I don't even know. Like, there's just so many background, different rounds and whatnot before you even get to live tapings and whatnot.
Got you. It's like the preliminaries.
Yeah, you got like 5 other things you got to do before you get to the live tapings.
Yeah.
And so I was surprised. I was like, okay, we're going to go in front of Simon Cowell like in a week. Like, it was super, super last minute and like really out of like random. Like, at this point, I was like, I was in middle school, and it was summer after 7th grade. Yeah, I was in middle school, summer 7th grade. I'm just trying to, like, recollect all these memories. I'm like,
For the people who are just, like, listening to us right now, like, her face is very, flustered, you may.
Oh, my God.
Very puzzled.
I have PTSD. All the war flashbacks are coming back right now.
Think.
That's so Raven Vision.
There we go. Another 2000s reference.
You know what's up. Okay.
So you have to go through the preliminary rounds of everything.
Yes. So within a week, we had to rehearse like 12 hours a day, have choreography, have 5 songs ready, because they could ask you to sing another song or like tell you like you can't do this song. Because, they choose, like, songs for you. Yeah. And whatnot. You don't, like, actually get to, like, choose what you're going to sing.
Shout out Kendall Page, who was on the 4.
Oh, I've never...
She was kind of, like, given that she needed to sing Me, Myself, and I by G-Eazy.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Kind of similar. Like, they had a list of probably, like, 20 songs, 30 songs that we could sing. And so we auditioned with a different song that wasn't on the list. we sang the Cup song. You know that thing from
Wow.
Pitch Perfect?
Yeah.
We didn't even like choose a song off the list. We just like sent it off, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is so cute! Like, oh my god, like look at them, like they're little acapella little 13-year-olds, like yes." So we end up going down, and we don't know what to expect at this point. We're all like dressed in our little like Forever 21 or really colorful, ugly ass outfits. We have like, it's really ugly. Like, I don't even know what we were thinking.
You were TV ready.
We were TV ready, little like Justice.
You just gotta throw a little bit of spice in there. Be a little extra.
Yeah, be a little extra cringe. You know what I mean? And not even cute. So they're like from the start. They mic me up. They mic another girl up from my group, and we're just always being filmed. We're always being interviewed, filmed, and we haven't even like gone on stage yet. We haven't been like told yes. We don't even know if we're going on stage at this point. But we're getting like filmed. That's all we know. We're like, oh, Paradise, like where's Paradise? We want Paradise is the girl band name, by the way. I didn't mention that. So we're getting filmed, blah blah blah. Then we go like sit in this like room with all the cameras around us, like a dressing room. They're like, okay, say this, like be all excited and be like getting ready, pretend to put your lipstick on, pretend to do your hair, blah blah blah.
God.
Telling us to do this stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, hee hee hee, like One Direction, or like I love One Direction. I wonder if they performed here, like, shit like that. And then like, okay, yeah, perfect. So go backstage now. And we're like, what the huh? We're like, oh shit, guys, we better rehearse a little bit. We're like, let's get our vocals together. Let's warm up a little bit because we're backstage now. Yeah. We see the stage. I think we were the second act to go on during the first
round.
Yeah, like it was the first hour of taping or something like that, and we were the second act to go on, and we were watching the first guy who went on. He sang Valerie by Amy Winehouse, and I was like, bitch, that's my song. I love that song. Like, I've been singing that song forever. How dare ye? And then he got told no, so I was like, you suck, get out here. And I
should have done that one.
And then I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I'm telling my bandmates, oh, shit. Like, he's not in a good mood today. Like, I think we might end up crying out of here. Like, we didn't expect to even get up on this stage at this point.
We got to kill this cup song.
We got to kill this shit. So we walk up on stage. There's like, I think like 7,000 people in the arena. And we're like, what the fuck? They got all these lights on us. Like, the judges are sitting. It's like
this shit
being
is real.
Inside of my TV. Because I watched the last season. And I'm like, what the hell? What is going on? I immediately went, Time to shine, bitches. Time to shine. Time to show everybody in elementary school that I'm that bitch now. Like, y'all made fun of me. Look at me now. I'm on your TV. Like, so I got my big microphone. I'm in the middle. So I feel like Beyonce. I'm like, and then they're asking us questions. We're just like being funny, cute little ditzy 13-year-olds, and they're laughing at us and like, ha ha ha. So what are you gonna sing? We're like, the Cup song, Pitch Perfect, and they're like, really? What's that? Like, Simon was like, what the hell? What's that? Like, what's that song? And one girl was like,
is this on the list?
They're like, we weren't expecting this song. What the fuck?
Wait.
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay, perfect. So, basically, they weren't expecting the Cup song. Simon's like, what the fuck's that? We were like, oh, it's from this, like, movie, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, go ahead, sing it. And so we sing it. And we got a standing ovation. I don't think it even sounded that great, but we just got a standing ovation. Like, the judges were like, oh, that's so cute.
Well, were you guys doing it like a cappella too?
Yeah, I think so.
See, and I feel like coming off of like a performance that basically tanked before like, you two, with like instrumentation in the back,
and it's like
whatnot.
This older guy, and then they're like, oh, cute little teens, and
yeah, don't catch a case.
Yeah.
So then how far did you guys actually get in X Factor?
Long story short. Okay. So after that, we went through like legal stuff because we got told yes, and boot camp was coming up, which is like the round after the yes or no first audition thing. And there's originally 5 of us. We went to boot camp with 3 of us because 2 of them weren't legally old enough. They weren't like 13 by January 1st of something or blah, blah, blah.
Oh, so you had to be at least 13 years old.
Yeah. And so they couldn't be legally shown on TV. So they were like, okay, whatever, you three, since you three are old enough, we can show you on TV. You guys can come down. And I think there was only like 40 acts or 30 acts that made it to it was like super like condensed. This last season, it sucked. It flopped anyways. Like, it was the last season of American X Factor because they fucked it up and ratings weren't very good. But like, I was like, I would expect there to be more people here because it's only after the first round. Like, why aren't there more acts? And there really wasn't. So we were held in this cold room for like 12 hours. And then we got like
12 hours.
And then we sang our cup song again because they wanted us to sing it again. And then we got kicked off. And then I ended up crying on Demi Lovato and getting snot all over her leather jacket.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. She must have been like, well, thanks for the parting gift.
Yes, yeah. She probably changed. She's like, get this fucking shit off me.
Burn it.
Burn it. I don't want that anymore. Saint Laurent, ew.
And how old were you when X Factor occurred?
13.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I went back.
Super young.
After getting kicked off, it was in July. I had to go back to school in August after being on the X Factor and having all this hype and shit, having all these photos on my media, and people were like, what the fuck? Like, huh?
Well, yeah, as a 13-year-old, acquiring that hype from a television show, was it difficult for you to kind of like maneuver through your head? Like, yeah, to come back to like real life?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not supposed to be back here in NorCal. Like, I need to be in LA. Like, I'm supposed to be on X Factor. I'm supposed to be on TV. I'm supposed to be like the singer. Like, I want to be like a fucking Beyonce. Like, you know?
Yeah.
It was super depressing, you know, in a way for 13-year-olds. And going back to school made it worse.
Well, you get like a taste of what your life could be at that point, you know, and how far you could actually go in this entertainment industry. But I will say it's kind of like a
super hot, like getting on that stage with like no like previous resume of doing anything else in Hollywood or whatnot, and then having to come back to the start and do baby steps to try and reach that point again or a similar point. Still trying to reach like somewhat of a similar point. It's been really hard because at such a young age, I just was thrown to the fucking wolves, and I was like, oh, wow, like this is amazing, and then had to work for that again.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you didn't.
For years.
It's like you didn't make it through the woods. You kind of just like went in the woods and then like came back.
Yeah, basically, there was no time to prepare. There was no extra work that I had to do. I just was thrown in there.
You know, I will say this. I think an interview you should watch from us is the one with Kendall Page, who was on the 4, because she was explaining how just crazy the television industry is, and when it comes to shows like The 4 or American Idol or X Factor, because
I would never do TV again. It's weird.
Well, because the same way you were saying how they kind of wanted you to like reformat your look, where you're like, oh, you know, like put on your lipstick right now, or you know, like act cheery and whatnot. Like that happens all over television.
Oh yeah,
because that's the way the producers want.
That's how TV is made. They can manipulate how they edit and whatnot, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
so.
And at that point, I feel like artistry and creativity declines.
Yeah,
I don't think it's fully cut, but it does decline tremendously.
You don't see it as an audience, like viewer. You don't see the artistry as much because they're telling, well, the real artistry, because they're telling what the artist to do, and so the artist is just like, okay. Yeah. And then viewers are
It's like here's spaghetti and here's a spoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Figure it out. It's like, oh, bet.
You get it, right? Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
I like that.
Spaghetti and the spoon. That literally
perfect,
just can't. Yeah,
perfect.
The lunch table. You dig?
Yeah.
Food analogies.
I mean, sounds amazing. Spaghetti actually sounds so good right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, hungry. Let's go spend money that I don't need to spend.
Amen. Shout out when you're in your mid-20s, because the noodles are probably like 50 cents. Then you could get like some marinara sauce for like $2. Like, you good.
Spaghetti.
Buy some fucking some sausage links. Fire.
There you go.
Have you ever had Filipino spaghetti?
Is it good?
I mean, coming
I'm
from
Italian, so.
Oh shit. Okay, so you make like the legit.
Yeah, we like
legit
homemade sauce and all that shit, and with wine. I was like drinking wine at like 7. I'm like,
allegedly. Nah.
My mom gave me a little sip. She was like, it makes the spaghetti like it just the taste just it's an acquired taste, but the taste with the spaghetti and the wine is just it blends together, and you can have a little sip.
See, ain't it crazy how culture? It's kind of
Different.
like how kind of culture is I guess limiting when we're in like certain countries because just by that in Italian country like yes like the food does taste better with wine, and for restaurants in which I've went to like legitimate Italian restaurants they say like eat it this way, eat it in this order, you know, type of thing. That way the taste can get maximized.
Yes.
But seeing as how you're like 7 years old drinking wine, that's kind of like looked down upon if you're in the United States because like they're 21. Not 21.
What the
she
hell?
needs to multiply her year by 3.
It's like you can't get drunk off of wine unless you're like 5 fucking glasses in or 2 bottles.
Yeah.
Like what's a little sip gonna do for a 7-year-old? Like, oh my god, I'm drunk.
my mom or my auntie told me that my mom used to try to put me to sleep whenever I would cry when I was a baby with like wine coolers, and she would and I would knock the fuck out, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I think that's why my tolerance is pretty high now that I'm like,
yeah. I mean, I'm not against that at all.
to the point. Back to the point. Seeing as how like we live in how television can kind of be like a restriction for creativity is kind of like how living in a particular country can I guess limit what your regular culture is, or like you know like the roots that you grew up on.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm half Polish and then half Italian. I prefer my Italian side just because I just feel like that side of my family is more me, if anything, if that makes any sense. I'm so bad at explaining things right now. I'm not really sure why. But, yeah, I guess I just prefer my Italian side than the Polish side. I'm not answering the question, am I? There wasn't really a question, but...
Yeah, there wasn't really a question,
yeah,
but
okay.
You prefer Italian.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, well, ignore that whole...
So then X Factor... so then X Factor occurs, right? And then you end up going back to your high school.
Yeah.
What were your next steps into wanting to continue pursuing music?
So the girl band that I was with, we continued for like a year. And none of us were really like happy. Like the rest of them kind of wanted to do their like high school life, and they weren't, you know, they didn't want to pursue singing or the career anymore. And so after that just kind of faded off, and I started having to create my own solo career. And I would just start off with little things like taking my guitar and going to like coffee shops and doing open mic at this one specific coffee shop. Like I'd go there like every Friday, do all the open mics. And yeah, started off with that. I do like a little set, just getting my confidence as a solo performer, because it's different, you know, performing, having like to rely on other people in a group.
Well, you fuck up on your vocals. You don't have 2 other people like backing up those vocals.
Yeah, with harmonies or, you know, like you can kind of save each other, and you also can like take breaks while you're singing. Like you have more time to breathe in a way. Like you don't have to like constantly be singing, and you can fuck up and it's fine because another person's singing. So yeah. But
and you kind of did that. You basically did that on your own free will. You kind of just said, well, if I want to be a solo performer, I need to make sure I expose myself in solo acts every single Friday.
Yes, exactly. So I just get my guitar. I'd be like a regular. And after that, I started like recording with this like local record label. They weren't a record label. It was just kind of weird, but it was like a good way to like make my own music now that I think I turned 15 when I was, or 14, 15. It's like 14, 15. And I just started doing and writing my own music for like the first time, like legit songs, like pop songs. I was like starting my writing. And I released an EP, and just kind of started building the resume a little more as a solo artist.
So as like a what 15-year-old at this time, because I didn't get a chance to listen to the EP. But what exactly?
It's not good. It's not out there anymore. It's so bad.
Oh, okay.
It's so bad.
But I mean, yeah. So what I'm asking is like, what do you talk about like at that age?
I guess I just romanticized like different situations in my head that I wish happened with me and the guy or something, and then I just pretended to be like heartbroken. Like I was just kind of like visualizing what happens in a relationship and just like being poetic and poppy and writing to it. So I guess that was that. But and then I also wrote a song like about high school. It wasn't good. And then I tried writing something like similar to what was on the radio, like kind of R&B, like hip hop pop.
That didn't work either.
Didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good sound. It wasn't cute. But now that I have been writing for so long, I know how to write and like what my style is and how I write and what's good and what's not good. Music's been getting a lot better, and I found my sound kind of thing. So
I think you did, because when I was listening to Astray, which just released in March, not too long ago, I'm over here thinking that you've been singing for a long ass time.
Yes.
And the producer that you worked with, it doesn't sound like anything that's on the radio. It's not necessarily like in that pop realm.
No.
It's more like R&B soul, but then I think with the way you project your vocals, it doesn't necessarily fit into that R&B soul category. It's more like
I feel like I have more of like an indie, raspy, lower tone to my voice. I always have. I've never been the one to like be like like Mariah Carey, like strong ass vocals. Like I've always been the more of an airy voice. Even though I don't talk like I have an airy voice, I'm very but I mean, I guess I'm a loud person, but when I sing and my music is just a completely different side of me kind of thing. So.
And I feel like starting at the age of 13, especially being on a stage as big as X Factor, right? I think it gives you a little bit more space to think about what you really want to accomplish as an artist, because nowadays I will talk to people who are like 20 who probably just started when they're like 18, 19 years old, and the immediate thing that they want to do is, let's get this song on the radio. Let me just emulate a song. Let me emulate a sound that sounds extremely similar to what is popping today, and maybe I could just fall into place over there. Whereas for you, starting at the age of 13, you recognize that the only way to stand out is to make fucking music that sounds like you, because only you can make music that is like you. The more you try to create the song that is catered for radio, or the song that is like catered to reach the masses, the more you're just not going to accomplish that.
Yes, thank you for explaining that, because I cannot put and form words together. I would have definitely said that, so thank you so much for taking the words out of my mouth. But yes, I definitely totally agree. And it's so hard, first of all, to get a song on the radio. That's like, it's almost impossible as an independent artist to have a song on the radio. Because
shout out Payola.
like, yes. But, I mean, you kind of have to be a signed artist almost, because the label is helping, and there's a whole like you're
well,
like
now
I know now you're talking.
Now you're gonna get me into the
my
logistics about
radio
and whatnot. But essentially, what ends up happening is that the independent artist essentially would need a label, quote unquote, for outreach and publicity, and to make sure that they can hit every single radio station, therefore just gain like a piece of audience during like every single visit. That's essentially the goal for like the record label.
Yeah.
However, you want your song on the radio, you throw a bag.
You can throw a bag. You'll be good. A big ass bag.
You can throw a big ass bag. Go ahead. But even like the downfall of that is like
you just lost a shit ton of money.
You did, because the reach is definitely there. But I'm a firm believer of why don't you just build on some core fans as opposed to trying to reach everybody.
Yeah, just put it on streaming like app like
Yeah.
Spotify and get your streams there. Like build as much of an audience that you possibly can and continue to grow your fan base and your support system, and then maybe one day, like this is my goal obviously, I'm just trying to grow myself, and then one day hopefully I'll be signed, and then I'll have, every time you turn on the radio in your car, you'll hear like my song.
Jacy.
Oh my god, Jacy, like hey girl, like what's up? Oh, so tired of the song. I hear it every day. Like
you remember back in high school when we used to hang out? Like no,
like,
I didn't hang out with anybody.
No, I had no friends. What are you talking about?
So what's been like, because you're still so young, man, like 18 years old, what's been like the difficult part trying to maneuver through the music industry at such a young age?
Not living with my mom, probably because my mom has always been almost like a momager, like co-manager, blah blah blah. And I'm just trying to like do it myself now and learn how to do that for myself and contact people and email people myself. Like
You're even managing yourself. You're crazy.
Yes.
Hey, more power to you.
Yes.
More power to you.
I'm like bro handshake with my long ass nail.
I know. I'm over here feeling like,
like,
what is touching the other end of my palm?
I'm sorry. I need to get them cut off. I'm so done with them. But it's hard because I've been wanting this. I've been wanting this for so long. And I just feel like I'm running out of time with each year.
Oh, God.
And I know everyone's like, oh, my God, you're doing so good because you're so young and blah, blah, blah. But it goes back to the social media thing. I'm seeing all these younger people succeeding in blah, 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 or having a record label already behind them, and they're like Billie Eilish. Mm-hmm. Or Eilish.
Eilish, yeah. I think she's like, what, 18?
She's 16.
And then her producer is her younger brother, who's like 14.
And I'm 14. Like, how the fuck did you do that? And you're so young, and I want to be at that level. Like, I want to have my music out there like that and performing on huge stages that you have. And I don't know. I just get so jealous.
No, but I could understand that. And I think there's like a cheat code to it that happened before.
I feel like a label plant. There was like a label.
It's kind of like it happened before they were even born, right? Because as far as I know, Billie Eilish's family is extremely musically inclined. So it's as easy as like once they're born, you surround them with nothing but like music and instrumentation and things to make them succeed in the music industry. For example, Swizz Beatz, right? Super producer with Alicia Keys. I remember seeing...
they're married, right?
Yeah, they're married. I remember seeing their kid. I forgot the kid's name, but then the kid was actually producing records on a drum pad. And shit. I'm like... And the kid's probably like 2 years old. And I'm like, oh, hell no. You're saying this 2-year-old can, even just get the idea of what producing a beat is like? That's fucking crazy. So, back to my point is that someone like a Billie Eilish who literally starts music off like really early at her age, like maybe like 5, 6, 7 years old, like that's already, you said you started X Factor when you were 13, that's already like 6 years ahead. So there's no point in you trying to feel like you need to catch up to someone who is younger than you, because it's just the simple fact that they started hella early. Where I'm saying for you is, you started when you were 13. You're already looked at by like the 20, 25-year-olds like, whoa, she started at 13. That's hella early. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you see this shift of like people younger than you, but people like my age in their 20s looking at you like, oh fuck, like shit's hella. You got people like me wishing like, I wish I started when I was 13 years old. You know?
Yeah. It's just hard. Like, I don't know, jealousy with the social media thing. I guess that's why I'm hating on it right now, going all the way back to the social media thing. I guess that's why it's hard. Well, I mean, I guess for everybody, like with body image, blah, 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 like just comparing in general is hard because of social media. Like, it's just becoming a bigger thing.
Well, I feel like it's a lot more difficult for like women especially too, when you know, when you see like other women like flex their bodies and they got like multi-millions of followers and like just comments are just like, oh my god,
and
I
you're
love
like, why
you.
am I not like that? And it's like, well, one girl, because they edit in their body and using Facetune. 2, it's just not real. 3, everyone is built differently. Everyone has a different body type, bone structure. Well, not bone structure. Everyone has the same skeleton, but like, you know what
Everyone
I mean.
has a different body type.
Yeah, I should have just left it at body type. Like bone structure. Everyone's got different bone. I'm like, no, oops. But yeah, body type, different shit like that. And everyone just wants to compare to other people. And it's just not healthy. And it's hard. And for me, I'm comparing my career to how others are succeeding. And I'm kind of just slowly trying climbing my way.
Up,
Yeah.
I will say, though, I think you're a lot farther than you think.
Maybe.
No, I mean, that's what I'm getting, and that's what that's what I'm essentially thinking of, because yeah. I mean, yeah, it just goes back to this whole conversation where I feel like nowadays we live in a position in which patience is something of the past. Like, no one likes to be patient anymore.
No, I never have been patient. I don't have any patience. Probably comes with being an only child. But when I have like certain milestones, like I recently, my local radio station finally like played my song Astray, and I got to like go in and host like the countdown and blah blah blah. Earlier when I said I cussed on radio, that's that's the night.
There it is.
But like that was a super like awesome milestone.
My name is Jacy. This is my fucking song.
Fuck you bitches. Like, yeah, that was me. Hee hee.
Ashtray.
I said ashtray. Definitely explain that. But that was like having certain milestones and accomplishments, but having them be like so like spread out like
I
apart.
I get it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have something every day. It's like it comes every once in a while. And some are bigger than others and some are smaller than others. And it's just kind of hard, like, I guess, having to be a small artist and not having that, like, every single day, having, like, a big accomplishment, I guess. I mean, for bigger artists, it's, like, the everyday shit, like, every day their song's playing on the radio. Every day they're like nominated for an award. Every day they're talked about in the media, blah, blah, blah. Like, that just comes with it. But for me, like, I don't know. I'm working for that. And it only happens every once in a while. And then I'm like, oh, yay. Like, oh my gosh, how do I make this happen more often? Blah, blah, blah. And it's just all about, I guess, marketing in that certain point. It's just, there's so much to this whole fucking industry. It's so fucking confusing, but yeah, and it changes all the time too, which sucks, but there's that. Sleep. I watch that shit to fall asleep, and I actually fall asleep.
I can't do it. Sometimes because I listen to so much audio.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, it gets to a point where I'm sitting in the car, and I just want, like, some dead silence. Like, even that. Over here,
because you work in radio,
so I listen to the same songs
every
over and
fucking
over
day.
again, and then I got motherfuckers like in my ear 24/7 to the point where, by the time I get a moment to myself, and I'm always talking to people, so by the time I get a moment to myself, I'm just like, I wish I was in. I think there's like this room somewhere in the middle of the United States that's actually like negative, like 30 decibels or something. It's like the quietest room in the world. And it's so quiet that you can actually hear your heartbeat. People can't stay in there for more than like 10 minutes. But I'm over here thinking like, man, I could
spend a 24-hour challenge.
I could spend 24 hours in there.
24-hour challenge in a negative 30 decibel room. Hee hee. Hopefully I don't kill myself. Like shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, hee hee. That'd be a good YouTube video.
It would be. See how long you can last in a room like that?
Yes. Yeah.
See how long you can last in a room that's just like filled with hella noise. Your fucking ears
going crazy on camera. 24-hour challenge in a soundless room. Hee hee.
So, seeing as how, I mean, I totally get you because you accomplished X Factor when you were 13. You got a little piece of that. And then maybe 5 years later is when you actually get recognition from your hometown radio. Mm-hmm. That's a 5-year span in which I'm assuming you feel like you could have done a little bit more in between time,
Yeah.
right? Or you
Yeah.
could have accomplished more in between time.
I would always ask and ask and ask, and always have my mom try and ask too. Like email the what's it fucking called?
Well, like a program director?
Program director. Okay. His name's Chris. And then there's Rain. And like we'd always just fucking email them and blah blah blah, be like, oh my god, like I used to do this tour with the radio station to go to high schools, and I perform at high schools.
Tight.
And be like, yeah, I'm a high schooler too, but I'm singing for you instead of being in school. Like, that kind of shit. So
the flex.
I'd be like, but I don't know. It's just like, it was just to stop bullying and like sharing my story and just, trying to be relatable for all these students if they're in a similar place like me, like socially. And I would just try and like,
But that's very interesting in itself, because you going to high schools, performing for the sake of stop bullying, that's something that people don't do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, that sounds like a feat. That sounds like a bigger feat than being on the radio and being on X Factor, because that's something that you partnered somebody with because of something that you believed in.
Yeah, and I think that's also how I got a lot of like of the people who follow me now from going to a lot of schools. I have a lot of people locally that follow me too. Like a lot of people that locally follow me. And I just try to spread the awareness, try to spread my story, because I do believe in like, in a way, bullying does make you a stronger person, but it also affects how like guarded you are and your mental health and blah blah blah. And all in all, we shouldn't be bullying and gossiping about other people and all that good shit, because it's shitty and it affects people. And I don't know how you can make somebody feel low and lesser. And it just it's all summed up because basically that other person feels low and whatever they're dealing with, so they have to take it out on another person and try and make themselves feel better in a way. Like, yeah, you've probably heard that before, but that's how that shit is. Like, if you're talking shit about somebody else, it's because you want to make your life seem better than theirs, and that's where you're gonna go talk shit about somebody, You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's definitely, that's something that nobody should be put through.
No, like, as a fucking child and as a teen, like, you're already, like, it's already fucked up that you have to go through puberty and you're, like, experience, like, what the hell is happening?
You're trying to figure out your fucking life.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got to have that added shit, like, if you have a bad home life, and then you got a bad school life, like, it's just not good, all of that added together. And so going to that high school tour, it was nice to, like, have them listen and also hear my music that I made, and I was still in high school or doing my high school work. I wasn't in high school anymore at that point. I like dropped out in freshman year, so it was just nice to share that. And it was with the radio station who I just recently got played on, and since I'm just going back to finish this off, I'd be like, yo, since I'm doing this radio tour, could you play my song on the radio?
There you go, work the plug.
Yeah,
work
you know what
plug.
I mean? And it would make sense. Like, the students would go and listen to the radio to see if, like, I would be playing. And they'd be like, what the fuck? Why aren't you playing on the radio? And be like, I don't know. I've been asking. Like, I don't know how this works. I'm asking. I'm trying to finesse here. I don't know. So I'd be like, but just go stream it on Spotify or something. Like, I got you. Like, here's the link for that. Literally with, like, hundreds of students.
That's hilarious.
Good old
days. And then you understand that, like, the radio is literally just, like, the look of it.
Yeah.
Like, people still look at radio like this phenomenal, untouchable source.
No one really listens to it as much.
Yeah, that's coming from someone who works in radio. No one really does.
Yeah. I mean, it's because, older people do, because they're, like, driving and they don't know how to work Spotify and, like, plug their aux in and be, like, bumping, like, Travis Scott driving around.
Oh, half the time I'm just lazy. I'm just like, fuck, the Bluetooth's not on my phone? Cool. I'm not going to search anymore. I'm just going to...
Fine. That too, because sometimes my thing doesn't work, so I guess I listen to, like, 102.7 or whatever the fuck.
Kiss FM. Shout out JoJo.
I'd be like, I'm new here. I don't know the radio stations there, so I only know 106.5 back home. That's it. Shout out. Thanks for playing my song.
So one thing I wanted to ask you is that, because I'm sure, let's say there's, like, a kid watching this shit, right? How does somebody who who has essentially reached like this level in her music career throughout high school get bullied?
Well,
You know what I mean? Because it's like the way it's portrayed is like you live like a glamorous life and you're doing like A,
now
B, C,
now
D.
they be looking at my shit and they're like, oh my god, like I remember me in high school. I always get DMs. I don't like open them. I'll just like kind of like look at the they're
see what it's about.
What are they? They're like the hidden ones where you can open them but it doesn't say red. I get so many of them being like, hey, you're doing so good now, and I'm like, bitch, you used to bully me and say I was fat and ugly, like, huh? So I don't like give them any like, oh hey girl, like what's up? Like I'm like, fuck you, like black, bye. And so decline, goodbye. And I guess when I first, like freshman year, the only year I went to public high school, once again I had X Factor and Instagram was obviously a thing, so they would know of that. My school knew of that, and they liked to. And it wasn't in a good way either. They would, like, put me on their weekly news thing that every class had to watch on a Wednesday. They'd be like, Jacy was on X Factor. And they would, this one fucking time, they put a bag over my head while I was in Spanish class. I'm, like, failing Spanish. And I'm like, I need to learn here. Yeah. They put a bag over my head and kidnapped me, which is, like, this thing that the school would do for their news weekly thing. And they'd be like, I don't know, they take them to a secret room and ask them questions, and they'd all have masks on, and I'm like, is this the fucking purge? What's going on? They put a bag over my head, took me to some room, took me out of Spanish. I'm like, fuck, I'm just trying to pass Spanish. Why are you doing this to me? I need to be in here. They made me sing and, like, tell the story, and then after that, I just got so much fucking bullshit from people, and I'm like, why did you do that to me? Now everybody's just, like, hating on me more. Like, it didn't help at all.
It sounds like the school put you on such a high pedestal, and people were kind of
and
like,
the students were like, oh, fuck off. Like, this fucking bitch, she's dumb. Like, and I had really short hair. I had a bob, like, haircut. I would wear, things that usually people aren't going to wear to high school and get dress coded all the time because I was wearing crop tops and skater skirts and Doc Martens and high socks. That was... I don't know why I did that, but because it wasn't cute. But I thought I was cute, and I thought I was being different in my girly shit and all that. And I would just get shit for everything. I'd be like, oh, this bitch, she thinks she's famous and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm literally not purposely trying to say that I'm the shit or, like, trying to, like, brag in your faces.
It's just that other people are.
Yeah, this fucking school. My PE teacher even did this. In PE class, he played my, like, the cover song it was on YouTube in front of the whole PE class and just let us sit there and watch it. And I'm like,
wow.
Why? And
it literally just sounds like, I mean, this goes back to the idea of what Sacramento is.
They're like who the fuck is
you know
this?
What I mean? It's kind of like, I mean, people in Sacramento might hate me if I say this, but it just doesn't seem like there's much going on over there, right?
No, they probably hate me.
So when somebody like yourself is able to accomplish what you have accomplished, there's one half that being like the older crowd saying like, oh, we need to help this person out as much as we can because they can be like a full representation for us and for the city. But at the same time, by doing that, it kind of shuns out everybody within your age group too and kind of makes them think, well, I'm over here too because I'm important too. And it goes back to that idea of like
popularity.
They might, they might think like because you're popular amongst like
media
and whatnot,
popular, but I'm
they
not
try
popular
to like
at school.
Yeah, but they try to like look over you and be like, well, no, you're really not the shit.
You're a fucking shithead.
You're just like you're
just
a
little
like the
nerd.
rest of us. Yeah.
You're a fucking nerd. Like blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, bitch, wear your Brandy Melville and your fucking low-rise jeans and your white Vans. Like, keep on with that lifestyle, honey. Bye.
I guess just to the point where like bullying it's a serious thing and no one's untouchable from being bullied. Man.
No. Mm-mm. And everyone bullies technically. Like if you're gossiping about somebody behind their back, that's technically bullying. Mm-hmm. But that's inevitable. Everybody does that. Everyone's like wants the gossip to gossip about people. Like all girls do that with their friends. They're like, did you hear about this? Did you hear what happened to this? Like even on social media with all the scandals and shit, like technically that's kind of bullying.
Yeah.
So, but on a larger scale, when it's to your face or there's rumors being started about you and they come back to you and then people are talking about it to your face and it's just kind of ruining like your high school, social, middle school life. Like it's just kind of fucking with you and making you depressed and blah, blah, blah. Like that's a different kind of level of bullying in a way. And
well, that's
just
deeper.
Sucks. It's deeper. And, you know, little shit that like, oh, Stephanie said you and blah, blah, blah are gonna break up and blah, blah, blah. Like that, who gives a fuck? Like that's stupid, like drama. But like, yeah, I guess drama is a different thing.
I find that the more productive you are as an individual, the less time you have to talk about other people's lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's how I've always been. I was like, oh, someone said it about me. Oh, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, and at this point, I've had so much shit said behind me.
Because you have so much more shit to worry about.
I have so much more shit to worry about, and I know I'm like, you know, I'm doing, like, I know deep down I'm doing well. I'm living on my own, and I'm only 18, and I've had a career since I was 13, and I'm doing well. So whatever the fuck you have to say about me, if you don't like my music, I don't care. Like, everyone has their own opinion.
Preach.
Who cares?
Preach.
So, you know, on a certain level, yeah, who gives a fuck? But when you're in high school or in middle school, and you just have your school life, then it kind of hits different, and it sucks.
Because I feel like it makes people who are in a very synonymous situation as yourself, and I mean that in the sense of like they go to the same high school as you, it might make them feel like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Am I just going to be stuck to
community college,
community college, going to college, doing 9 to 5 after I come back to Sacramento and do like the same shit over and over again? Like, I feel like it triggers something, in a sense, like bullying also comes out of like jealousy.
Oh, for sure.
It's a direct response to jealousy.
It is, yeah. I definitely see it. Like, I don't want to be like, oh my God, all these people are jealous of me. But in a way, like, in a certain way, they are jealous of me. At least I know, like, I remember, like, some of the girls in my music class, because I would do guitar class, they were so rude to me. And I don't know, they would do, like, covers on YouTube. Like, this one girl still hates me to this day. Like, she goes and eggs my house, and I don't even live there. Dude. And she's, like, 19. Like, bitch, are you 11? Like, honey, my mom called the cops on you because she's done with your stupid shit. Like, come on. So, but I was going to make a point about when you're living in such a small-ass town, and you think high school is, like, the rest of your life. Like, high school is so important, and, like, your high school life is just you're gonna remember it for the rest of your life, and, like, it's gonna be so important in prom and blah, blah, blah. And it's just, like, not, like, never was like that for me. Like, I could give a fuck about high school. It was, like, a tiny portion of my life, but some people really think that it makes that big of a difference, and then they also carry it on into the rest of their life because they're still living in the same area and they're still around everybody else who's in the same area. So I guess in a way, if you're going to live in the same area and be around the same people who are also living in the same area, then yes, high school is probably a bigger...
it has more meaning to it.
Yes, but not for me, honey. So I got out of there as fast as I could. I literally dropped out after the first year. I was like, can't do this. I'm going to get my shit done. I'm going to test out and... bye. I'm moving.
Well, because, you know, I remember when I was like 16, 17, 18, you know, the high school days and whatnot. And I never thought about what was on the other side. You know what I mean? In a sense of, like, I never really thought about what adulthood would be like.
Like your future and
whatnot. Like my future, because that was just the mentality that I was in. Because I'm more so the type of person who likes to just, like, be in the moment and really just like to enjoy the present. I don't think about the future too much.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, it is a good thing, but it's like
That's how most high schoolers are. They're like,
yeah,
they don't think about consequences.
But the problem
of
is
the
that
future.
the problem is that like if you don't even like have any thoughts towards your future whatsoever, yeah, you're gonna get stuck and you're gonna be in that loop where you're depressed and you don't like your job and you wish that you did this and you wish that you did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree. And also, and shit, what was I gonna say? I have all these points that I want to point out because like, I don't know.
I keep
In a
digging.
way, I keep
I'm
digging.
loving it. I'm
like,
loving this right now.
Oh God, I was gonna say something really cool too. I had something really cool to say, and I can't even remember it.
This was gonna be the part of the interview that fucking explodes.
Like this is gonna hit different. God, and it's just I was like.
Like, we talked about spaghetti.
Yeah. So we were talking about
bullying.
Spaghetti, then we're talking about bullying, and we're talking about being stuck. So let's get these gears turning a little bit. Let's just talk about something else and maybe come later. But yeah, bullying is not good.
Yeah, not one bit. Not one
good.
bit.
Not good.
We mean that like seriously.
Yeah, just fucking stop. Like it's old now. Like come on, can we focus on your own life and just do your fucking school and. That's it.
Yes.
Leave it at that. Okay? Who gives a fuck?
So you focusing on your own life, do you live out here in LA by yourself?
Yeah.
Wow.
And technically, I feel like I've been living here since I was 16, because when I was 16, I started coming down here every month for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do sessions and I started creating, like, more music that was more, like, you know, my sound. I was finding my sound and coming down here, working with different producers, finding my sound. And then, finally, when I turned 18, a couple months later, I was, like, trying to find places when I would come down here. And then in November, I moved, and I've been fucking loving it. Like, loving it down here. I just feel more confident. So, I'm just like, yes, like, I'm living
what's
here.
What's like the day-to-day for Jacy?
Okay, I like to be productive because there's not always stuff happening. Like, I'm not always gonna.
We're in LA. There's always stuff happening.
Exactly. So you can make things happen. I like to get up at least early if I didn't have a late night. So I like to get up early. I go like for a walk or like a run, just to get like the endorphins going.
Yeah.
Go get my fucking coffee. I'll like do cleaning, whatever. Clean my apartment, get ready. If I don't have anything to do, I like to be artsy. I like to like write, or I like to paint. I don't know. I just like being calm.
It sounds like you get your creative juices flowing.
Yes.
At all costs.
Yes. If I have a session, I'll go to my session and fuck the painting, and I could just go be creative in the session and go get a song done. Blah blah blah. If I don't have a session, I can find plans to do. I can find like a friend, and then we could find something to do that'll, we can, I don't know, help us out with our social media. Like if we go to like a certain event, like we can.
It sounds like you're very business minded.
Yeah.
Like in a sense, you need to make sure you're doing something that is towards the brand Jacy.
And it's more of a recent thing, because when I first moved to LA, I was just kind of stuck. Like, I was like, okay, shit. So now I'm here. I know I'm not gonna, it's not like where I'm here for only a week and I have every day, like, 2 sessions a day. Like, since I have a schedule now, I'm down here. So, shit, what am I gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna go party and then wake up at noon every day because I'm out till, like, 4 in the morning. That wasn't a good idea. That's how I got sick. So, recently I've been trying to be, like, more business minded, and not care more about, because the LA social life, it's kind of important to have, because like being surrounded with other people who are successful and whatnot kind of motivates you more, and like it can help you. If they like, if you become friends, like they can help promote your music, like if they're like, this girl's dope, like blah blah blah, but not like clout chasey, like that shit's dumb. That's different realm. But so it's nice to have like a little bit of that, like in the LA schedule.
Yeah.
of my daily life.
You can do it like every so often, but
Yeah.
it sounds like you have a very good balance of being business minded and still remembering that you're young in LA.
Yeah, I'm always like on cam for like, cause right now he's not my actual manager, but he's doing a really good job of it, even though he's not.
Hey man, he hit me up. He's like, "Hey, can we set this up?" And I'm like,
I was like,
let's do it.
So me and him, we've been just like working shit out and finding things to do, and he's done a lot for me in the past like 3 months, and I just feel myself
like
taking
in what
further
sense?
steps. Just with how I am releasing music now, more often. It's more. Last year, I like only released like 3 songs. I've already released 3 songs in like this first like year, first couple of months of 2019. What the fuck am I saying? First year, blah blah blah.
Well, shit, it's almost half the year's almost done.
You're right. We're at halfway through the year, but I have like a consistent release schedule now, which I've seen be a lot, a lot more useful for me as an artist, because if I'm releasing consistently, it's constantly keeping my audience entertained, because I'm not just being stagnant and just like, oh, every 6 months I'll do a feature with like a top line EDM. Like, that's boring shit. Like, I'm releasing my own shit now consistently, that's like good. Every month with a visual music video. And yeah, he's scheduled me shows. Like, my last manager, he probably won't even be watching this because he fucking hates me, but like, he sucked. Like,
damn.
he scheduled me sessions, but that was it.
Well, I think to be honest, it's kind of tripping me out that you're still worried about like your career and where you're going, because I feel like you're in such a good spot, because even Cam, you're learning from where Kalen and Myles was, right? And then now also you're currently learning from where Myles Parrish is. Yeah. Right?
He's rebranding him. He has been. He's doing a great job.
He's doing a great job. Like, I will say this. I won't say that. I'll say this.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I think I know what you're gonna say.
You know what's funny? When I first heard "Back" by Myles Parrish, I said something to myself and to like a finite group amount of people like within my group, and someone had tweeted this exact same thing just yesterday, and Myles liked it, and it was funny because it said something like, Myles Parrish is exactly who G-Eazy like wants to be.
And G-Eazy's like 6'5", and Myles is like little like
in the sense of
boy.
in the sense of just like the music that Myles is currently making is the music that I know G-Eazy can make.
But
right?
He's not making it, and it sounds the same
but
each song.
But he's not making it. I love the Me, Myself, and I's of the world that he's making. However, like, if I know you can make some Bay shit.
He's trying to be Bay. Yeah. Like, he's always, like, oh, I gotta be hooking up with E40, and we gotta go to the fucking...
which, you know what I mean? Which is a great thing. That's a great thing to do.
But if you're gonna show that you're from the Bay, he's not really putting out Bay music. Like, if he keeps saying, oh, I'm from the Bay. This song is super like, like California, West Coast, like blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But it's just not really showing any sort of Bay Area. Can you I can't fucking
get you.
say.
Well, let me say this. Like every single album he has like at least like one Bay Area record on there, which I appreciate. Like, he has this record called Calm Down. And then the West Coast record that he has with Blueface, like, it's very Bay Area inspired. I think even the sample is like from the Bay and shit, right? Yeah. So I will say, I think G-Eazy's kind of like in this mode in which he recognizes that, and he's like, I should put out more Bay music because that's the type of shit that he wants to do. Yeah. Back to
that's why he wants to be Myles Parrish.
back to my point being that like you learn from people like. You learn from, like, the Kalen and Myles of the world, and you learn from, like, Myles Parrish. So I guess to see, like, the blueprint that they have out for you, especially working so closely with his team, a.k.a. Cam, like...
He's so fucking
You know what I mean? Like, you're in a good position to learn, like, the things that... First of all, you're not in a group.
Not anymore.
I know. And then second of all, like, I'm seeing how Myles is moving right now, and I'm like, cool, you're just releasing just straight up shit that you like to do. You're literally just going to keep on grabbing more and more people who fuck with that type of shit. So, you know, to my point, the more music that you put out in a more frequent basis, the more your fans are just going to want more from you. Yeah. And they expect, you know, because at the end of the day, they just want more music from you. And if you don't do it...
because I'm an artist. I'm supposed to release music, not post selfies every fucking week. Like, they want to see music.
Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to the artists who all they fucking do is post photos. No, like, do some fucking work.
Like, actually release music, please. Thank you. And literally last year, I was like, what the fuck can I post? I'm so done with posting pictures of myself or pictures of shit. Like, I need to release music. Why can't I release my music? And my manager's like, well, we have to have, like, a schedule for, like, every couple of months.
That was your old manager.
Yeah, and I'm like, bitch, I ain't releasing shit. I don't even know what's gonna go on. Like, what am I doing with my life? Like, hello? And it's probably because I wasn't his priority since he managed other people and he just wasn't super connected with anybody here in LA. Yeah. But Cam's got so many great connections and he knows the business. He knows how it works, and I don't think my last manager did. And so he just didn't really know what to do with me. And I was pissed. I was always pissed at him, and it just wasn't working. It was a toxic relationship. Mm-hmm. But now I know what I'm going to post. Like, it's always going to be music related. I always have shit coming out. I always have something that I got to be doing. Like, I got to keep the audience entertained. Like, I'm an artist. I'm a singer and a songwriter, and I got to just put out stuff that's related to that. Like, yeah, every once in a while I can be like, oh, I like this picture of me. Here you go. But there's always got to be a message, you know? Like, oh, this is coming out in 7 days, or I have a show, or I'm going on a tour, or something like that. Like,
something relevant.
Something relevant.
Not just like a filler episode in the life of Jacy.
Yes, and I feel also my Instagram's like my resume. Like, I got, you know, like videos of me performing, my songs, my releases, my highlights, like blah blah blah. Like, it's my resume. Like, if there's label people looking at my shit, like, they could just go on my Instagram and see everything that I've done.
You realize everything that you're regurgitating to me that not a lot of people know? Really? Yeah. That's why I'm trying to tell you, you're like so far ahead than you think. Okay. I didn't know any of this shit when I was 18.
Okay, but you work in radio, so yes, now you do.
Well, yeah, now I do.
Yeah, you're like, okay, bitch, but I know.
I'll tell you, like, I work with like people around my age. They don't know half the shit you know.
Well, okay, I feel educated. Sometimes I feel dumb, and I'm like, maybe it's because I didn't finish high school with the rest of everybody, and I did it myself.
That's how lost in thought in the conversation we were. Yeah. Damn. You know, to be honest, I've never had to reset the cameras this much.
That we have a lot to talk about. I guess.
No, there was a lot, man. I mean, I think the only thing I'm worried about is the battery dying, but
oh shit,
it's all good.
Yeah, you're right.
I think the last round of questions I'm gonna ask you, like, when and why did you get your tattoos?
I got them before I was 18. So this one right here. I don't know which camera. Did we do this camera or this camera?
That one.
So that's music in Chinese. My dad goes to China a lot for work for like weeks at a time, and he'll like bring back like fake Louis Vuitton or all that shit. Jesus. Or like Chinese symbolism things, or like China or jade and blah blah blah. And I don't know, like, it was always cool, and I have like everything that he brings back, like all the toys that he'd bring back, like I just have everything. Okay. So I don't know, I think it's cool. I've always wanted to go to China with him, but you know, it's a work thing, so I can't. Yeah. But I got music in Chinese just because it's cool, I guess, and I can always have the reminder that, bitch, I'm gonna do music for the rest of my life. Like, this is on me for the rest of my life, so I better keep working for that. And then this one,
Love Game.
I regret this one.
Oh God. Which one did you get first?
This one.
Okay,
I love this one. I love this one. This one, like, it's cute, but I'd rather have it say something else, because this was a song that I put out. It was my first song to hit 1 million streams. Wow. So I got it tattooed on me, but now every time now that I'm here, I have not been asked more times than ever. Do you like Lady Gaga?
God.
I'm like, yeah, I like Lady Gaga, but it's not about Love Game like Lady Gaga Love Game.
Yeah.
It's about my Love Game, and it hurt like a bitch too there. It did not feel good.
Yeah, that's hella close.
I literally had a panic attack. I'm like,
I have a tattoo just like right down my spine. That was probably the worst feeling.
I would go to hell and back. Like, holy shit, that hurts. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It was bad.
That's like really your whole like nervous system.
Yeah. That's why I was sitting down in the chair just cringing for a good maybe half hour. Oh. And I didn't even know what it was looking like up until I could see it in a mirror.
Oh my god.
Like, dude,
oh my god,
dude could have full on just done whatever the fuck he wanted to do.
Because you have no idea.
Exactly.
And you probably wouldn't for another couple hours until you looked at it. Mm-hmm. Or he could have chosen not to, for you to look at it and just fucked you over.
All right, you can go.
Go ahead.
You're good.
It looks great.
So, the rest of 2019, what's your plans for music? You releasing singles? You releasing an album?
Consistent releases. I have an EP coming out. I'm planning on like meeting with more people that Cam thinks it's just like good to meet with, you know, good relationships, whatnot. I think they can help me out with whatever. Shows. I have more shows. I have a show like next weekend with Dev and Little Debbie.
I saw it. Yeah.
They're Bay rappers, so it's nice. It's a fitting like area, I guess. We're all locally like kind of same area. Okay, I'm not from the Bay, but you know, same area. NorCal. And that should be fun. I'm just going through like logistics of like who else I can do shows with and like open up for blah blah blah. Because performing, like I said, like I love entertaining people. Performing is like so fucking awesome for me to just like perform my songs and entertain people. So, is it dying?
It is dying, but it's all good.
We'll wrap it up. Should we wrap it up?
A couple minutes.
Okay, cool. But yeah, that's 2019 shows, releasing music, growing the audience, just making moves. You know, productiveness.
Any features on the EP?
We're working on it. We're working on it, yes. Okay. But yeah, you should see some features. Or a feature. If we can get one, you know? But Myles is obviously, he's a good feature. We already have a song, but...
that's a great song.
It's a nice little pop song. I was still trying to find my sound.
He got like a cool like 8 bars in it. I'm like,
yeah, he's like, okay, cool. Let's go, Myles. Okay.
It was kind of just like, whoop, whoop.
It's definitely a banger, but it's not my sound. I don't feel like it's not my sound anymore. So,
but it's okay that you experimented with it.
I was 16, whatever. Yeah, like it's all good. Now I'm 18. I'll be like, okay, Myles, let's get this shit going. Like, look at this let's go.
Well, Jacy, to be quite frank, "Astray" is a really good song.
Thank you.
I'm personally looking forward to any music that you release in 2019 and in the future.
Thank you.
Jacy, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram at JacyLeeanne, Jacy Leanne. Same with Twitter. And then on Spotify, just look up Jacy, Jacy. With Astray, like you could just look up, I'm sure if you just look up Jacy, it'll come up, but I don't want to be too difficult. So there you go. Well, thank you for having me today. It's been great, just venting and talking.
This is actually the longest podcast that I've had. And,
shit.
Yeah, we're cracking
How long is
out.
it?
This is an hour and a half.
Oh, wow.
Roughly.
I didn't think I could talk for that long. I guess I can.
This is great conversation. You talk more than a lot of fucking people.
Wow,
and
thank God.
I appreciate you being an open book because let me just leave it on this note. Nowadays, it's important that you be an open fucking book. That's the only way people are really, truly gonna fuck with you. This is The Lunch Table, Food for Thought. I'm Nico Blitz. Jacy, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.